I got what I got, but still I did what I had to do.
Kimbella and Juelz Santana's relationship was marked by crazy moments from the very beginning. And looking back now, it seemed destined for trouble. But was their relationship really always doomed? The couple started dating in the late 2000s, and they were together for nearly a decade before tying the knot in 2019. But even after years of being together, their relationship was far from stable. Their time together was marked by public arguments, legal troubles, and accusations of betrayal. One of the major events that added the most strain to their relationship was Juelz's legal trouble. In December 2019, Juelz was sentenced to 27 months in prison after pleading guilty to a weapons charge. TSA had found a loaded firearm in his luggage at Newark Liberty Airport. He served 17 months behind bars, leaving Kimbella, a mother of 3, to hold down their family on her own. This wasn't an easy time for her, and she often shared her struggles on social media, leading many to speculate that their relationship was facing serious issues. Despite these challenges, Juelz and Kimbella tried to present a united front. They appeared together at many public events, including, of course, their wedding, which took place the same year Juelz was arrested. They also continued to post images of their family on social media. However, things weren't as rosy as they seemed. Kimbella later revealed the extent of her emotional turmoil during that time. She shared that she often felt neglected and alone. The emotional toll that Juelz's behavior took on Kimbella eventually led to her announcement about their split in December 2022, and the way she did it was pretty bold. In a candid Instagram post, she shared a picture of herself on a Miami beach wearing a purple bikini. In the caption, Kimbella wrote, "Next chapter, single," making it clear that she was more than ready to move on. But this wasn't the end of her revelations. Soon after her announcement, Kimbella posted a video on her Instagram story that offered more insight into why her marriage to Juelz had failed. In a raw and emotional message, she spoke about feeling unloved in her marriage. Kimbella revealed that they would frequently argue, and she often felt as though her needs and feelings were disregarded. She said that her ex was more concerned about his own emotions, leaving her feeling numb and alone. This was allegedly a reoccurring theme in their relationship, and despite her efforts to make things work, she eventually realized that nothing was going to change. Kimbella's post struck a chord with many of her followers who offered their sympathy and support. For Kimbella, the decision to walk away wasn't an easy one, but it was clear that she had reached her breaking point. Juelz, on the other hand, seemed to regret how things had unfolded. Just a few weeks after Kimbella's public breakup announcement, he posted several tributes to her on Valentine's Day 2023. In a heartfelt post, he shared photos of Kimbella in a wedding dress, expressing his love for her and referring to their relationship as forever. In another post, he acknowledged that he wasn't easy to love, but he still wanted Kimbella to be the one by his side. However, Kimbella's response to these public declarations was telling. She actually ignored Juelz's post. She also kept her single status on her social media accounts, making it clear that she had no intention of rekindling their relationship. But Juelz's attempt to win Kimbella back didn't end with Valentine's Day. He took to Instagram again in April of last year, and he declared that he prided himself on being faithful in their marriage. He actually admitted that there was a time when he hadn't been faithful, but he insisted that this was no longer the case. By then, though, Kimbella had already moved on, both emotionally and physically. It looks like Juelz's time in prison put a lot of extra strain on their relationship. Kimbella often posted about the challenges of being a mother while her husband was incarcerated. And although Juelz was eventually released from prison, the damage to their relationship had already been done. The story behind his jail sentence was crazy. He had fled an airport after being asked what he was carrying. He made the insane decision to run away from the airport, but he left his luggage behind, and he had completely forgotten what he'd left in there. The night before, he had placed a .38 caliber weapon in his bag. He told the Drink Champs podcast that he had forgotten that he put it there. After he left the airport, he talked about what he had heard on the radio. After going on the run for 3 days, Juelz finally turned himself into custody. A couple of weeks later, he was denied bail. It wasn't the first time he had a brush with the law. In 2011, Juelz was also arrested after 2 firearms and a large amount of illegal substances were found in his New Jersey studio. In December of that year, he received his sentence after being charged with possession of a firearm as a convicted felon. And the court's decision was that he had to serve some serious time. As well as his prison sentence, Juelz was sentenced to a year of supervision after his release. In addition to Juelz's legal troubles, there were also long-standing issues with communication and trust. In her Instagram post, Kimbella spoke about being lied to throughout their relationship and feeling like she was always the one making sacrifices. These feelings of isolation and emotional neglect eventually led her to the realization that she needed to focus on herself and her own healing. Juelz and Kimbella's relationship also played out in front of a public audience, which added even more pressure to an already strained union. And as stars of Love and Hip Hop New York, they often had to navigate their personal issues in front of cameras, which must have made it harder for them to address their problems privately. In the end, it became clear that their relationship was almost destined to fail. The constant arguments, emotional neglect, and Juelz's brushes with the law all contributed to a toxic dynamic that neither of them could escape. While Juelz may have wanted to try to make things work, Kimbella felt that she needed to move on for her own sake. She has since focused on rebuilding her life after a decade-long relationship that left her emotionally drained. Meanwhile, Juelz has started to reflect on his role in the breakdown of their marriage. But despite the fact that the rapper has admitted that he's made some mistakes, it appears that Kimbella has no plans to return to him. Instead, both of them will have to move on with their lives. But the lessons they have learned from their time together will likely stay with them for years to come. Anyway, what do you guys think about all this? Did Kimbella do the right thing by leaving such a long-standing relationship behind? Or should Juelz keep fighting to win her back? Let me know in the comments below.